Hello, it's Grand Prix. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Grand Prix Z at MSEM, and I'm playing versus Kayiu. I'm on Big Dream Control, or Dream Big Control, I can't remember what we ended up naming it, which is a bug 140 card control deck leveraging Dreamsight well as a way of drawing cards. And my opponent Kayiu is on Iekin Black, a blue-black combo control deck that tries to deck its opponent using Iekin plus Refracted Thoughts, or just plays a long, slow, grindy control game and wins via either Volta Hearth or Iekin drawing to win the game. I've mulliganed once already, but looking at this hand is probably not a keep. It has two pieces of interaction versus Kayiu, and I could just play this game kind of nice and slow, but this deck has really ridiculous card advantage, so I'm kind of comfortable mulliganing to 5, especially when I'm on the play and I can get it in underneath a Refracted Thoughts. So we'll see how this goes, but for now we need to wait for Kayiu to finish setting up recording. It's interesting, Kayiu is the primary caster of MSEM and does most of the tournament reports and things like that. I semi-frequently co-cast with Kayiu, so the fact both of us are playing meant that no one is casting this game, which is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, Kayiu draws 7. Let's see if this is a keep or mull. If Kayiu mulls, I'm going to mull. Kayiu keeps, I'm on the draw, so this hand just... I have 2 pain lands, I'll probably pitch 1. I have 2 kill spells for an Iekin, which protects me versus that combo, but I have nothing to beat a Volta. Volta's only a one-off, but I really do want to sneak Dreamsight well in underneath counter magic, and I don't know. I think I'm slowly convincing myself into mulliganing this hand. Down to 5. Alright, I think I'm going to mulligan this, and it's a control mirror, so I'm not as worried about drawing a hand that does nothing and dying. Well, keep. This isn't a good hand. Oh, wait. Never mind, this hand just got great. Thank God for the London mulligan. Holy crap. Okay, so given what I'm working with, I don't need Mystic Arts, because I already have a Dreamsight well. And I think I'm going to pitch Memento Mori as well and rely on Dreamsight well drawing me into a Edict before I need one. To the library. Alright. So, then I'll fetch up a blue-black check land. I don't think Kayiu has any turn 1 interaction. Has X-Units. Nah. So, I'll get to sneak my draw 5 in under any interaction here, which is kind of great when you mulligan down to 5, if I'm going to be honest. Oh, good lord. Okay, this game is starting to get really awesome really fast. And, I mean, some of this is the power of the deck. You only have, like, a couple cards that really matter, but those cards are insane, and you have a lot of tutors to find those cards. End step, let's go ahead and pitch. Strike from the Shadows doesn't have text in this matchup. I'm really surprised we didn't find a single land with that draw 5. It's okay though. We will probably top deck one. If we don't, we can just start chucking interaction spells. So I'm not particularly worried. We could try to sneak in. We could try to bait counter magic with Dead Man. We could try to bait counter magic on Kayiu's turn with a Cane Dancer. I think that's probably what I'll do. I might Prying Inquiry. It depends if Kayiu taps out or not. Because if Kayiu holds up mana on my turn, yeah, that means Kayiu has a counterspell that he wants to cast. So I'm just gonna... Excellent. Okay. Always happy to know that I didn't break any rules. I hit a land drop, which is excellent. I like hitting land drops in control matchups, especially this deck, because you can leverage mana so effectively. This deck is very heavy on its 2-drops, which is great, because it makes Cane Dancer better, it makes some of your tutors better, but it also means that as you scale up mana, you can use your mana really efficiently. So my plan here is just Cane Dancer on Kayiu's. Well, so I want to Cane Dancer on Kayiu's end step, just to try to like bait out counter magic. But on the other hand, that's probably too many cards. So maybe I should have just led with Prying Inquiry on my turn. I really don't want to run Prying Inquiry directly into a counterspell though, because I think it's very valuable in this matchup. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and just negate that one. I like spending 1 for 1 here, because I have such a better card advantage engine, and now Kayiu's tapped out, which means I get to be a little bit of a bastard and sneak in a Deadly Manipulation. And I should also go ahead. I think I want to find, so I have black, black, blue, blue, green. I only need 1 green. So I get to start doubling up on colors that I have. So I think I'm going to grab another island. Let's just hit Kayiu with Prying Inquiry here real quick. Alright, so Kayiu's hand is Memento Mori, Exeunt, Antithesis, Refracted Thoughts. Let's take that Refracted Thoughts, because that's going to cause Kayiu to draw 5 if I try to draw 5. Alright, so Memento Mori has a little bit of text in response to Cane Dancer, or in response to a Deadly Manipulation activation. But it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Exeunt doesn't really have text, Antithesis doesn't have text. Oh, Kayiu doesn't have double black also. Well, if he doesn't fetch in, shock fetch in this Ocean Monastery, or play a swamp from hand, I'm just going to Deadly Manipulation, recur Prying Inquiry, and take the Memento Mori. Because it technically has text. Okay, so is just shock fetching, setting up Memento Mori, which I think is a good idea. Taking me off Dreamsight, or off negate stuff, is probably for the best. Awkwardly, since I hit my Deadly Manipulation before Kayiu did, I can't justify running out this Singularity's Grasp, which is a little sad. This deck doesn't have... Let's see, does this deck have any single target enchantment removal? Yeah, I added that because I realized that was a huge blind spot in this deck. Once Abandoned, 2 copies, and 2 Cups of Death in reverse. Because I want to just keep Kayiu off of Source's Sustained Card Advantage, because I can win 1-for-1s. Yeah, so that's gonna generate Kayiu a card, but I'm gonna also just immediately kill it, so it's fine. The question is, should I kill it or take Kayiu away from Memento Mori? I think the answer is kill it, because my graveyard is just value, whereas that's one of Kayiu's actual win conditions. So I'll conjure realities, find my Once Abandoned. What's the green one? Yeah, Once Abandoned. And just immediately gank that before Kayiu can do anything with it. Kayiu dumps a Liar's Riddle, Arcgen, 2 lands. So I assume that means there's a win condition of some sort. Right? Do I benefit at all from fetch shocking here? No, I can't get anything done. So I'll just shocking that out, rather. I'm going to just cast Conjure Realities, which is a little bit sad because I was hoping that that would find my second Dreamsight well once the first one gets exiled from my graveyard, but it might be okay. Boop. And I'm actually behind on cards right now, but that's partially because I've made as many land drops. I've developed this deadly manipulation. Um, I have drawn more cards than Kayiu. Kayiu's drawn one card so far this game. Um, and I have one card banked in play as this clue token. Interesting. Okay. What does Kayiu have in graveyard? Could cast that, but not right now. Still has the Memento Mori in hand. I think my best bet is to do this. Oh, well, I can't do that now that Kayiu's taken Deadly Manipulation. Kayiu doesn't have any creatures that can be recurred, but recurring a Liar's Riddle for card advantage is kind of annoying. I think I just want to fight my way through that Memento Mori right now. This sucks if there's a oh, I think Kayiu thought that he was about to be able to Refracted Thoughts me. But that is not the case. So Kayiu now has to decide between blowing this Memento Mori, which I assume he'll do, or just letting me draw 5, which seems like a bad idea. Yeah. Alright, so that'll fizzle the Cane Dancer. Oh, that's actually a pun on my part. I should have Cane Dancer in response to just really draw 5. Yeah, I think that's a mistake. So let's see. Kayiu has a fair bit of card advantage in graveyard. I think I'm just gonna cantrip and hope to hit a land drop. Was just another useless Cane Dancer. All right, that's a big misplay on my part. I was mostly saving the Cane Dancer so that. So Kayiu right now has just kind of this wealth of choices because that's the nature of deadly manipulation, and it's a really important part of this matchup. I could have destroyed it, but I basically decided I wanted to, 1, keep my clue, and 2, I want to save my Singular's Grasper in case Kayiu plays his own deadly manipulation, because I don't think this game is going to end because of this deadly manipulation in a couple of turns. So it makes much more sense to just hold on and wait. All right, so given Arcane Genesis in graveyard, I think I'm still, let's go to combat first. This isn't my primary win condition of just beating in with Cane Dancers, but it certainly is a win condition. That cannot be argued. Let's represent having black, black, and blue, blue up, and cast Ancestral Council. Ancestral Council will tutor up a Dreamsight well to keep pulling us back into this game. Or the other thing I could do with it is, well, Kayiu still has access to a Memento Mori, so I don't want to go with Grave Tutor. I could go with Grave Tutor. And then find a second Deadly Manipulation, but that's kind of pointless in a couple of turns. As long as there's the Deadly Manipulation on Kayiu's side, I can't cast Dreamsight well into an open Refracted Thoughts. Kayiu is currently down, has only 1 Deadly Manipulation in main deck, has 1 Refracted Thoughts left in deck, is down to 2 Iekins and 1 Volta left in terms of win cons. Well, I definitely punted this game by, or not punted, I definitely put myself in a worse situation by not just casting the second Cane Dancer in response to Memento Mori, but I think I'm still in a decent spot. This is the start of the game that's going to take forever, though. I assume Kayiu is trying to decide if, in response to that, he should Liar's Riddle to find counter magic or something. I think most of the time you just let this resolve and then try to answer whatever I have. But it's possible Kayiu is concerned he will not be able to answer what I have. So is going to Arcane Genesis this, which is fine. I get to 2-drop a land, and it turned the antithesis. Oh, I forgot to ever update this. I assumed that island got played, so there's just an Exune and one unknown. Let's see. I don't think I have any special. Oh, I'll grab this land because it's a gold land, and gold lands are better. All right, and that's my turn. Sure. I mean, I think that's actually a mistake on Kayiu's part, because Exune is not a dead card in Kayiu's hand. Exune translates into casting more spells from the graveyard, especially with Liar's Riddle. And that 1/2 on board is just not an appreciable threat right now. It's possible it's an appreciable threat in like 10 turns, but I think Kayiu still has an incentive to just let me have it. Especially because putting it in my graveyard makes it better. So yeah, I'm not sure what the cards in Kayiu's hand that I should be most scared of right now are. Another Iekin is annoying. I'm not sure if I then justify burning a Singularity's Grasp on that. Volta, I think, is actually the worst case scenario. I really don't want to see a Volta, especially with one of my once abandoned just exiled. Yeah. Luckily, Volta's only a 1-of. I think it is more likely that Kayiu is going to just do, sit here, continuing trying to counter and answer things. God damn it. All right. Yeah, so, again, worst case scenario here. I think what I do is Alright, let's look at Kayiu's grave to make sure I'm not stumbling into anything obvious. Oh, there is an Exune. So Kayiu could discard the last card to cast that, which I think is worthwhile. So I'm going to So the line I was thinking is cast Cane Dancer, untap Memento Mori. Now I want to save that for an answer to Iekin. I think I'll just pass. Ah, great, excellent. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, so I'm just hoping that the last card in hand there isn't a Refracted Thoughts or a Counterspell. What this is going to grab is it's going to grab a Once Abandoned. It could grab a Once Abandoned. Oh. It could grab a Once Abandoned to try to kill a Volta. I think in that case, Kayiu would just give me the Dreamsight Well, and I really would like that Once Abandoned. I think I'm going to go with that. So, what I think the optimal line here for Kayiu is give me the Dreamsight Well, ditch the Once Abandoned, hope I don't draw into anything good. Kayiu could recast his Memento Mori on his upkeep, which I'd be a little bit sad by, but I think it just means that what I should do is, if Kayiu bins the Dreamsight Well, I'll wait until Kayu's upkeep to cast the Cane Dancer to draw cards. If Kayiu bins the Once Abandoned, I should cast the Dreamsight Well immediately. If I'm in Kayu's position here, I don't know, in Control Mirrors I'm just so scared of my opponent drawing cards, and I'm not out of answers to Volta with if this once abandoned goes. Like, I still have the 2 death and reverses. I can also just kill Kaiyu's creatures a couple of times using Singularity's Grasp and beat up on Volta with Cane Dancers. Alright, in that case, I need to just hope that Kayiu doesn't have the last Refracted Thoughts. 5. Alright. I wonder if part of the line is once abandoned, is exiling once abandoned to Grave Tutor to tutor up Raw Hit Study. No, that doesn't sound like the line. Oh wait, discard, gotta bin one of these. I guess I'll bin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, Kayiu does not nuke my graveyard on upkeep, so we're good, baby! We're in a driver's seat right now. I don't think we're like, well, I mean, the unless here is unless Kayiu immediately steals back the Deadly Manipulation with another Temporary Treason. Kayiu is running 3 of them. Otherwise, I am no longer afraid of that Volta, because on my turn, I'm just going to blow up Volta, and then I can kill the golems, the constructs, at any time with Singularity's Grasp, X equals 0. Kayiu does, like, have counter magic. That is a thing that deck runs. So there's a possibility I should try to play around for counter magic a little bit more. Let's try to bait out some counter magic here. Because I'm just going to try to draw another 5. Alright. Well, I can tell you, this Outsmart, I probably have more cards in hand than Kayiu. It's not technically a guarantee, but seems likely. There's an argument using Violent Collapse to clear out the golems. So let's ditch this ETB tapped land. It costs just green 1 to play, because both is blue or black. I have 2 counterspells to back this up, so that just resolved. I want to cast cards out of my hand because having a more empty hand is effectively card advantage. Because I have to discard fewer cards. So let's tap like that. Black, black. 1. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Violent Collapse here, because it's one of the few times it'll line up well into the board state. I don't think I want to play any more cards. I think I'm going to discard 1 land, and I'll just kind of fill order. I think I have all the cards I want. So this is why you play the deck. You play the deck so you have these really big, stupid swing turns in terms of just raw card advantage. And keeping me off the Deadly Manipulation for a while was enough. But now I have it back, and Kayiu hasn't really taken advantage of it. Missing the Memento Mori line is a bummer. Alright, I'm through 2 Dreamsights. I wonder if I flash in another Cane Dancer. No, there's no value out of doing that. There we go. Alright, so Recall Forgotten Aeons is one of my primary win conditions. I'm going to go ahead and cast this right now. Draw 2. No additional land to play, which is kind of a bummer. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't flash it back. I can't coalesce it this turn. But what I can do is I can cast, go ahead and cast Grave Tutor, exiling Violent Collapse. Let's tutor up the second Recall Forgotten Aeons. I think I can't justify casting this turn, just because I want to hold up a pile of counter magic, because I think I'm just solidly in the driver's seat at this point. I think I recast that Violet Claw. That one's abandoned. Yes, I did. Cool. So we've answered the Volta, which is the scariest thing in that deck for this deck. There's two Iekin left. There's two Temporary Treason. I'm planning on just, yeah, sitting here with counter magic. Anything I want to do now? I could Grave Tutor up the third we call for demands, but I'm not. I think I just want to sit here, keep doing my thing. I'm going to go ahead and Shock Fetch, because now that we've answered the Iekin, my life total is pretty much under 0 threat. And I want to hold up as much blue mana as possible. Dreamsight well no longer draws cards because I'm less than 99 cards in deck, which is important to keep in mind. Blue, green, let's not do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can only hold up one counterspell. I think I'm still meant to go ahead and outsmart this. But there's an argument to be made that I should just be patient and hold up counter magic. This is great if I draw into a land. Like, I get hugely rewarded here if I hit a land. Oh, it's so good being a professional. I almost put this back away. So now I sit here, I can outsmart the next scary thing Kayiu has, I can Edict it, I can Arcane Genesis it. The place where I get screwed here is if, okay, cool, nothing happened. So now we're basically a Delver deck. We're just going to sit here, and we're going to beat down with our 5/6, and we're never going to tap out. We have effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 7 counterspells. Our entire hand can either be pitched to a counterspell, or is a counterspell, or casts a counterspell. This is the stage of the game that Jeff Hoagland refers to as garbage time, where you're a control deck and you have answers to literally anything your opponent can do, and you're just sitting there, killing your opponent. Which, I mean, hey, I get to play more portions of the game where I'm winning. That's fun, but we do have a slight time constraint. So I'll be curious to see what Kayiu is backing out. I think I'm just going to discard this Seek Prophecy to maximum hand size, because I don't need Seek Prophecy at this stage of the game, and I'd rather have everything else in my hand, because they're either backup win conditions, answers, or counter magic. I don't care about the Seek Prophecy, I care about what it finds. It's possible this is a bait spell. Found an Iekin's Portal. I think Kayiu grabs Iekin's Portal, because if he doesn't, he's down to like 1 win con left. But there's not a lot of decisions here that matter, unless the remaining cards are Iekin's Portal, Counter Magic. And even then, if Kayiu does Iekin's Portal and has 2 card spells to back it up, I have enough mana to cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can cast 4 counter spells this turn. 5 counter spells. So, I think I'm okay. Alright, so didn't have the Iekin's Portal, puts an Unraveling in Graveyard, which can maybe make me skip my untap step for my lands, but it's going to be hard to take advantage of that. So he's going to cast Iekin's Portal. I mean, even if my hand's contents weren't known, there's an Outsmart in my graveyard, so. Alright, just lets it go. Knows that can't be fought over. Sick, Onsen. My lands tap better. So, last card is a Wicked Weaving. Alrighty. So, that's more or less how I expected that to go. Okay, I did make a slight misplay there. Post board, what I have to contend with. I have to contend with a Salvatore, probably a Potion of Inhibition for my turns / my tutors. Maybe Kayiu goes up on Unforgets, just to have more copies of Refracted Thoughts. So, the stage of the game that I want to fight on are very similar. I need to stop Kayiu from resolving a Volta. I want answers to Volta once Volta is resolved. So these go in, and I think I also board in the Singularity's Grasp because it answers a lot of things I'm scared of. There's an argument to boarding and stand unassailable just to go up on win cons. I don't like that argument, but I think it's an argument that you can make. This lined up well that game. I don't think it generally will, so I'm going to board those out. Strike from Shadows is blank here because it doesn't kill Volta, and it doesn't kill flipped Iekin. Alright, cool. So we board out all 4 Strike from Shadows and one of our 3 Violent Collapses? I think 3 Violent. Here, I can check the other deck editor. Yeah, 3 Violent Collapses. So we still keep 2. Part of the problem with this deck is you just don't have enough room in your sideboard to board things out, which is fine. And Kayiu's on the play this game, which that's a huge deal. The fact that I was able to sneak in a Dreamsight well under any counter magic or Refracted Thoughts is probably one of the main reasons I won that game. Kayiu main deck has 2 Wicked Weavings that don't have text, 1 Antithesis that doesn't have text, and 2 Exeuns. So, and Memento Mori's not that good. So I would guess is boarding out 4, 5, somewhere on the order of 5 cards. For Salvatore, Potion, 2 Unforgets, it's 4. Huh, so I don't actually think Kayiu has enough cards to sideboard in either. Looks like Kayiu did the board in your hold sideboard trick, and then is boarding out the cards. Unless Kayiu does think Banish is good versus me. Oh, Banish is actually decent versus me, because it can strip me of all of my Call Forgotten Aeons. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. Okay. The problem is, there's a traditional line of thought which is with Banish and Salvatore-like effects, which is, oh, if you just strip the control deck of all of its win cons, you can beat them. But if it comes down to it, if I'm just left with a deck of answers versus Kayiu, I can still probably win that game, because I can answer all of Kaiyu's threats. And then, if both of us sit here, I run 80 more cards than Kayiu. And I probably only draw like 30 more cards than Kayiu per game. Alright, Kayiu's on the play, unsurprisingly. So this hand has... So if I was on the play, I think I would mulligan this just to find a better hand. Well, Recall Forgotten Aeons lines up really badly into Refracted Thoughts. It has a Rawhide Study, which is nice. It doesn't have any interaction, so if Kayiu just slams a Volta on 4, I can't answer it. If Kayiu thinks that hand is sketchy, I think I can keep this hand. Seek Prophecy takes Dead Man, which is correct. That card's insane in this matchup. Is going to bin a Temp Trees and a Cursory Glance, though, which is kind of good for us. So, Kayiu is going to have a live Dead Man starting on turn 2. That's not great for us. We can answer it, so I'm not like super concerned. And it doesn't generate card advantage. Turns dead cards into live cards, so it's like card quality. Oh. Well, missing. I'm gonna be a little bit forgiving there of forgetting to play a land. Um, I think my best bet is to play out this dry island. Kaiyu's representing counter magic, because we know he has a dead man and he didn't play it. Or refracted thoughts is also a possibility. My current plan is to go raw hit study as my turn 3 instead of this, because that doesn't lose to refracted thoughts. Um, I'm just treating refracted thoughts with care. I assume we're going to see a dead man play now. Well, I guess there's no reason to run out dead man until you can generate value off it, so maybe not. But I really feel like Kayiu is holding up refracted thoughts. Actually, wrong one. And this is the one I want to play. Alright, well, let's see if this is... Well, what's my advantage of jamming here? So advantage of jamming is... It means that if Kayiu just has refracted thoughts and doesn't have unraveling or anything similar, I can get this down safely. I don't think that's a likely scenario, and I think I should just keep waiting, especially because the rest of my hand doesn't do much. Since there's no pressure in play, I have inevitability in this matchup. Kaiyu's the one that has to blink first. I would expect we're going to see Kayiu now. No, still, I think 5 lands is the breakpoint where you play Dead Man, just because then you also have the cursory glance up. This makes sense if Kayiu has another cursory glance in hand, or refracted thoughts in hand. I'm going to let that resolve, and then I'm going to play Raw Hit Study, and then I'm going to just try to outcard quality. That's a nice tool to have. Let's fetch away. We have double of all the relevant stuff, but I'm going to grab this just so I have the second basic. And it's a basic that turns things on. Let's go like this. You have a cursory glance in hand. Or Arcane Genesis, but I think I'm okay with Arcane Genesis here. Cool. So, minus card quality plus ramp. Having mana advantage is really important in this matchup. Dead Man's now live. Can cast 2 counterspells from graveyard. Could also Seek Prophecy to fill up the graveyard a little bit more. This Dead Man can get it out of hand pretty quickly, but like there's not a lot I can do about it. Except try to Memento Mori maybe, and try to just bait him into protecting his graveyard. I don't hate that. Trying to go Memento Mori, if you go Shields down, Recall Forgotten Aeons. Or I could just kind of sit here and wait more. I'm just personally a very impatient player, but I feel like that's what I should be doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll just pass here. I can just sit here and wait for a little bit. What are we going to see end turn? Discarding a Liar's Riddle to cast Sequency. Liar's Riddle is a lot of cards. That's a draw 2. Sure. I definitely question discarding Liar's Riddle in order to cast Seek Prophecy instead of, just casting the Liar's Riddle. I guess that means that he has Unraveling. Yeah, that's my best bet. So I can Portal in hand a Memento Mori in graveyard. So I assume what we'll see is we'll see Kayiu cast Iekin's Portal. All Arcane Genesis, I'll get counterspelled back. I can untap and slam a Recall Forgotten Aeons. And I have Memento Mori. Memento Mori is never going to kill an Iekin in this current state because Kayiu has so much counter magic in graveyard. Unless Kayiu does something really stupid. So I feel like I might also want to pop Memento Mori off to empty Kaiyu's graveyard. Okay. So it's just sitting here respecting me. I mean, has plenty of things to cast from graveyard, like can cast this Liar's Riddle. Um, hmm. Okay. Sorry, I need to quickly check LackyBot ruling really fast. So the question I have is whether or not Deadly Manipulation exiles the card if you can't pay the mana cost. Because if so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pass turn. When Kayiu discards a card to cast Liar's Riddle at end step, I'm going to Memento Mori. And then even if Kayiu counterspells it, the Liar's Riddle gets exiled. So, unless I'm misreading the texture of Kayiu's hand, what I suspect will happen is Kayiu will attempt to Liar's Riddle, unless he just really does not like Liar's Riddle. Like, I still think discarding that to the Seek Prophecy makes zero sense. Okay, no, it's just passing. Sure. We're even on cards right now. Kayiu's up on card quality. Potion of Inhibition. I think that shuts off enough of my best top decks here. I want to at least try to fight over this. Well, hold on. Let's see. In graveyard. Yeah, okay. So here's how I'm going to fight over this. I'm going to tap blue, attempt to counter. Okay, that... I did not expect that to work. Okay, so that's just gone, which means my infinite turns are now live, and all of my tutors are live. Which I guess means that's a bait, and Kayiu can now just slam an Iekin. But if Kayiu taps out, then I can slam Recall Forgotten Aeons, which I'm happy about. Okay, and if Kayiu's just passing, like, that's... Kayiu needs to kind of make those opportunities. How much am I respecting Refracted Thoughts? I think the answer is still a lot. As I mentioned before, I'm not... I am one of the resident control players in MSEM, but at my heart, I'm not a control player. I'm someone who just likes to jam. And so this type of sitting and waiting and twiddling my thumbs is agony. Especially because I'm not playing around like, oh, well, if Kayiu has this card, I'm like, back to square one. It's, oh no, I give up a huge lead. Now here's the question. Is Kayiu a more impatient player than I? I would not be shocked if that was the case. But this match could potentially be... I mean, Kayiu's also down a game, which potentially means that he's going to be playing slightly more conservative. I have cast a total of 2 cards, by the way. Kayiu has cast a total of, like, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So, not quite what we would call the most action-packed game in the world. Okay, Iekin's Portal. Let's see. Yep. So we're going to let that resolve. It's going to fill Kayiu's graveyard. During Kayiu's end step, we're going to attempt to exile his grave. Well, that's certainly a mistrigger. That's also not the type of mistrigger I'm gonna tell or remind Kayiu about. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bait Kayiu into using Dead Man to counter one of my things, either using the graveyard and tie up all his mana. If that succeeds, I get to cast Recall Forgotten Aeons, and almost can also flash it back, but almost doesn't count here. Oh no, and I can flash it back because it'll let me play an additional land. Okay, so that's kind of nice. Unless this is no, unraveling won't do it. Okay, so cursory glance, discard a memento mori. Excellent. All right, so this goes to my graveyard. Excellent. Okay, so that tied up all of Kaiyu's mana. So if I do think Kayiu has Refracted Thoughts in hand, though, I was gonna say I'd die instantly, but better luck than the good. Do this, draw 2, play an additional land. Yeah, let's hold up more mana. Gotta love holding up mana. The one turn he taps off of. Oh my god, I drew nothing but lands. So I drew a card. I played a forest. Kayiu doesn't have any taxing counter magic, which means I just need enough spells to cast my own. Which is just... Oh, I could also try to take Deadly Manipulation off the table. Oh, Kayiu can't afford to flip that. Alright, so I don't want to tap off, because if Kayiu tries to Refracted Thoughts me, I want to have enough black mana open I can cast multiple X units. So in that case, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just drop this Flooded Morass, and I'm going to discard one of these fetch lands and pass the turn. It's a little bit unfortunate stocking my graveyard like this. I really wanted to cash in the Recall Forgotten Aeons, because now if Kayiu Mementos Moris me, I get a little sad. But it's not the end of the world. Maybe I was meant to... No, I definitely want to do the draw 5. It's just easy to be results-based into the fact that I drew, effectively, 5 blanks. This is kind of nice because it can take Deadly Manipulation off the table, but it's probably never going to, because Kaiyu's never going to tap low enough I can get him again. If it gets to my turn and Kayiu has an exiled Recall Forgotten Aeons, I get to cast it, which is kind of nice. Kayiu, I guess, is slowly running out of counterspells. Only has 1 left in grave. We're still suspecting there's a Refracted Thoughts in hand, and has Liar's Riddle as a way of drawing cards to find things, but that's really mana inefficient. Yeah, we were cool with Kayiu flipping Iekin. We'll take 5 damage because we have some life to play with. Kayiu flipping Iekin pretty much makes me think 100% he has a Refracted Thoughts in hand, because there's no reason to expose this to any of my removal, if not for just trying to kill me on my draw step. Unless he just does not have any respect for my 7 cards in hand, which, would be correct-ish. But so can cast Arcgen from grave, Seek Prof. Okay. I mean, this to me means Kayiu doesn't actually have the Refracted Thoughts, because he would not be tapping off mana. Oh, wouldn't be able to Refracted Thoughts combo me anyway. I have too much removal for that. Okay. This is... Okay, so... Grabbed a Volta, ditched Memento Mori in that. Volta's kind of a pain. I have an answer for the rest of this board, but... Okay, so it's blue to recall something, so... Given... Unless Kayiu has an Arcgen in hand. Kayiu has cast 1... I should technically play around that. It's slightly mana inefficient, but, whatever. Oh, no, I want to do it here. Okay, cool. So let's try to just do this during upkeep. What I suspect is going to happen in this exchange is Kayiu is going to counter this, then I'm going to sweep the enchantments off the board, and then I need to just figure out an answer to Volta. Just. Kind of a big deal. I'm through one Dreamsight, one Recall. So I have 3 Dreamsight, 2 Recalls. Still have 4 Grave Tutors, 4 Ancestral Councils. So I have a lot of hits that I can do that just drag me back to this game kicking and screaming, or put me in a situation where I can figure out a better win con, or answer to Volta. But it's a little bit stressful in moments like this when your hand is full of lands. Alright, so that just cleanly answered the Iekin. Let's flip that back over so it doesn't confuse anyone. Okay, so we need to bait out the counterspell. That way we can play our own Deadly Manipulation and go off to the races. It's possible that baiting the counterspell means actually baiting the Memento Mori, where we get a little bit more sad. But whatever, I think we just have to jam and hope for the best. Because we want to resolve this dead man, and then we want to cast our Dreamsight Well from Graveyard. So Kayiu's down to 2 more Temp Treasons, 3 more Iekins, the Volta's in hand. I haven't made my land drop for the turn. Doesn't matter though. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to editing down this video. That's something Kayiu's good at, and it's not something I am. I can't believe this is only turn 9. It feels like it's been such an action-packed game. Slash, it feels like the game's been going on for slightly more forever. Okay, so Kayiu's being very disciplined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead we're going to go for this backup plan. Land, attempt to cast. This doesn't use up a resource from our hand. This will probably eat a counterspell, but it at least means that Memento Mori doesn't bork us as badly as it would bork us if we went with Deadly Manipulation. I think this just eats a counter. Jesus Christ. Okay. And I played a land, so I'm going to just go ahead and play out this land and pass turn. So this threatens Volta, which means Kayiu probably spends Memento Mori on it. Although Kayiu threw 2 Memento Moris already, right? 1, 2, 3 Memento Moris. So this is sad versus Temporary Treason, plus counter magic backup. But Deadly Manipulation would be way sadder if it got Temp Treasoned. So I think I'm okay with that. Kayiu runs 4 Memento Moris and probably kept them in. I don't know if Kayiu kept in the Axions, I would assume no. So Kayiu has 1 more Memento Mori to answer this. Okay, so grabs it with the Temp Treason. Is he also going to play Voltas, or is he just letting me... Okay, so he's going with Volta. Oh, Unraveling. Yeah, that's Time Walk. I still get to draw a card, which I mean I could draw into an Exeunt, but this kind of sucks. And I spent life shocking a little bit more aggressively than I maybe should have. Nah, I think given the game circumstances, it was reasonable for me to shock and stuff when I did. How did I lose 7 life to shocks? That's... Oh, I shock fetched at one point, I bet. Okay, no, I did reset my life, so any life I've lost is... I hadn't thought about Unraveling, that's kind of the worst case scenario. I think I play this to try to set up for... I don't know. I assume what's going to happen is I'm going to take 5, Volta is going to come down, and then I have to put together a game plan very quickly. Okay, so Unforget's going to find another Unraveling. Kev's going to draw it and cast it. I'm going to take 2 damage from the Unforget. Kev's going to swing for 5. I'm going to take my turn. Kev's going to take my turn. I don't untap lands. Kev's going to swing for another 5. So I'm down to 1 life, effectively. Alright, let's play a stabilized game versus Volta and this board state. Oh, Kayiu only does get 1 more swing anyway. Yeah, presumably he's going to take turn again. I still get a draw at one of 3 Exeuns, one of 3 Memento Moris, Cane Dancer as a chump block, no more Strike from Shadows, 6, 10. I could also once abandon it potentially, but I really don't want to. So I have 10. Let's be generous and say 10 hits within 112 cards. Let's add the one span. So 12 hits on 112 cards. Hyper Geometric Calculator says population size 112. 12 in population. We need to draw 1 card. It needs to be a success. Oof. We have an 11% hit here, guys. Not good. Not very good. Alright. Well, I mean, I actually don't hate having that card. It means I don't die to another Unraveling. I'm going to go to 1, which sucks. But honestly, this isn't the end of the world. I'm pretty sure there's no sources of 1 damage here. I don't think I'm getting cherry tapped. Remember, it's only last point of health that matters. So, to be fair, a lot of these cards are very not good tapped lands. A lot of my lands are now coming in tapped. I have been root mazed. Oh, please be a Volta Hearth. Please be a Volta Hearth. Right up in there. Still, I had to go for it. Okay, Kayu's now tapped off. I get a turn. Let's see what I can cook up. Because, trust me, I'm about to go hog wild. I have a Dreamsight Welling Graveyard. I have a Sweeper. Okay. So I don't want to use the Sweeper for a large number because then it kills my own dead man. I could cast it X equals 0, so green-black. Alright. Negate's nice. I don't want to play out a land. Ash's dead man. Let's do green, blue, 1. Discard this fetch. All right. Still a lot of lands, but so now our plan is Exeun, kill that. I have backup Exeuns, I have some negates, I'm going to have that as a blocker. We don't have the thing I need to combo with Rawhide Study with. I don't have any more card velocity unless I play out the Rides, but I think I want to just, so that put me down 3 lands. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exeut's a little sad because it will kill my own Recall Forgotten Aeons dude, but I think that's okay if it comes down to it. I could run out raw hits right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll have enough to cast Negate and... Okay, yeah, I should do that. Let's tap blue, blue. Move that over here. Blue. Here's Command Zone. Look at top 5. Put on top of Command Zone. Shuffle. The order doesn't super matter because I can reorder it. The important thing here is I have Mystic Arts, which can tutor me up. The deterministic Dreamsight pile, so I can start taking turns in the near future. Excellent. Let's go. Let's discard this. Oh my god, this is such a stupid comeback if it works. Kayiu only has 2 cards in hand. I have no idea what those are. Kayiu has missed a bunch of land drops, so presumably that. I have my raw hits, I have my deadmans. Thank you. Three mana. Liar's Riddle. I don't think there's a single 1 card in hand that kills me here, so I'm just going to negate it and just make life simpler. Maybe that's a little bit of bait, but like there are so few cards left from Kayiu that I care about, and this Recall Forgotten Aeons helps me stabilize the board so effectively. I think I'm just going to go with it. And then technically what Kayiu can, if Kayiu just passes to me on end step, I can Singularity's Grasp for 0, wipe all the tokens, untap, kill Volta. And I have negate backup through that Christ. So I think if Kayiu plays Iekin, I don't care at this point. Yeah, I think I just let an Iekin happen. I forgot I also have the Arcgen Graveyard. Wow, okay, I am stacked in terms of answers. This is, by the way, a really good reason to run Shadowed Slums in your control deck, because right now I just die to a Shadowed Slums. Alright, that's Iekin, I assume. Banish. Let's think. I can still... Okay, so let's do blue... discard, blue 1, negate. Because this means I don't immediately die to the token, and my whole game plan around end step, cast Singularity's Grasp, kill Volta still works. Now Volta minus is a problem. Don't have a good answer to that. My hope is that Kayiu forgets that that card has that text. Nope. Okay, so now, okay, next step, we're just gonna do this. Oh, and now he's tapped out. Okay, great. So now we can do the Determinist pile. We are so goddamn good at Magic. Okay. So, untap. I presume it doesn't matter. I can recast Mystic Arts in response to anything in order to tutor up an answer to it. Um, so Kaiyu's out here is cast Unforget, Drain Me 2, but there's only one Unforget, and Kayiu will only have one card in hand, which means Kayiu does not have enough to fight through all my counterspells, because I will have somewhere between 3 and 4 counterspells. All right, that was one hell of a game.